So we have Menthol Cookie, so let's level him up as well, because most likely, again, we are going to be using these cookies inside of the guild boss battle for the new boss. So we have Menthol Cookie as a bomber, rear with the water element again. And let's look at the skill. Menthol sensor, alright? 15-second cooldown, but menthol gas leaks out from the sensor and deals damage to enemies. If the target is inflicted with the endless flow, alright, which is going to be any of the water type cookies doing damage, it deals additional damage and inflicts them with the crit damage debuff for each target hit. Afterwards, menthol gas explodes and deals damage. The amount of damage increases proportionally to the number of enemies affected by menthol gas. If a target has the stinging fizz debuff and takes damage from menthol gas explosion, it causes fizz bubble explosion, which deals area damage. The number of targets affected by stinging fizz determines the number of fizz bubble explosion. Okay, so we have the comboing again for the two new cookies, Menthol and Seltzer. Okay, just like how we had with Manju and Jage. A little bit different in the sense that, you know, we are having them use the skill and it has to be one first rather than the other. But it is going to be some extra damage. All right, so menthol gas damage is going to be 368.5% of attack every 1.8 seconds for 0.2 seconds. Endless flow extra damage is going to be 100% of attack. And then crit damage plus 6% per hit for 15 seconds stacks up to 5 times. That's 30% extra crit damage. Gas explosion damage is going to be 548.5% of attack multiplied by 1.2 per carbonated charge hit target, capped at 2,500% of max attack. Extra area damage for fizz bubble explosion to boss is going to be 890.7% of attack. To enemies is going to be 35.4% of attack. And endless flow is water type damage plus 5%. Attack minus 5% for 9 seconds. Stacks up to 1 time. Alright, and it does look like if this is going to be the case for our menthol, most likely either a mixture of attack and cooldown, or even possibly just straight up attack to do more damage straight up. Okay, and then we probably will have, I want to say menthol is going to be the one to do the water type for sure, water type attack, so that you are able to just do more damage to the enemy. So let's just try it out like this here with menthol, and boom, let's go. Okay. All right. Let me see your auto attack. All right. That's gonna be, it's pretty good. All right, explosion, boom. That's the explosion. The explosion damage is not terrible, right? But now let's try it out with our Seltzer. Right? Obviously, the way you want to do it is Seltzer uses the skill first, and then you use Menthol, alright? So we do Seltzer first, alright? And then we do Menthol. And you see the extra damage? I believe that's the extra damage that we see, right? With the explosion. So we have the stinging fizz. And then we do the explosion. Boom! That's a lot more damage, by the way, compared to what we had before. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, so I was gonna try and wait for the entire guild to reset, but man, it was 12 hours long and I couldn't stay a little bit longer, and the VOD was going to cut off. So here we go, it's the next day. We have the new guild boss, the Machine God of the Eternal Void. So let's go and finish this review for Menthol Cookie first. And Menthol is going to be, as you guys can see, the main damage dealer for this particular guild boss. And like I will talk about in the video, water damage is going to be the main focus of Menthol's Biscuit. The specific builds and stuff, once that is like figured out and things like that, I will go over it inside of a separate specific video with all of the guild bosses now, with all of the changes. But Menthol is focusing on that extra damage, cool down a little bit, crit, to just maximize his damage. And this is going to be like this, team that is being tested out, and you guys already saw inside of the beginning of the video that this was something that was talked about by or shown by Dev Sisters in the preview. All right, so let's just go over this, and you're just gonna be able to see that this guy is just gonna do so much damage, and because of the fact that the boss, right, is going to be taking more damage from water element, you also do have Sea Fairy's buff. You have buff from cream soda, sea fairy, seltzer, as well as frill jellyfish. This is just going to be insane. All right, so we're gonna go with the skills here, and we're just gonna pretty much, I'm just gonna do it that way because you want to use seltzers and the frill to put all the buffs up, and then you want to use kind of menthol last to deal the damage. But apparently there is some tech and stuff like that in order to deal a little bit more damage, because as you guys can see, there's different components to these particular boss, right? So you can see all the little damage. You have one component right there, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 different areas that you are able to hit for this particular boss. And with it, that also means that Menthol, as well as all of these cookies who are doing area damage, it's just going to be doing a lot more damage, right? So if you guys look at the damage output, of course this is not the maxed out or like super optimized, and personally for me, I don't know how much higher I'm going to be able to get, especially with the lack of Radiant Biscuit though right now to get all of the biscuits optimized. So I have been getting around like 11 to 12 billion just by what I have currently. I have seen all the way up to like over 20 billion as well. Menthol getting higher is just going to do more damage, but you're going to be able to see, look at that damage, 14 billion coming out from Menthol alone. All right, so absolutely insane damage dealer, and a must have for the guild boss, for the new boss that we have gotten, the Machine God of Eternal Void. So this thing is just going to take more damage from water, and that's just the reason why Menthol is just going to be insane. I mean, the 800% is an absolute killer for this. So again, I'll go over the specific details of the build later down the line in a separate video, but this is the team that I have. My frill jellyfish is at a level 16 of the magic candy. 20 is where you kind of want to be at if you guys can, for the extra crit damage as well, and then the rest of them, higher the better it is. You know what, let's just test it out in like Cookie Alliance 2 or something. I don't know. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but you know what, let's just test it out in Cookie Alliance. All right, let's just look at the damage real quick here. Yeah, dude, look at Menthol's damage. It's not terrible. It's actually pretty good. The explosion damage that we get from the fizzing. So the more and more of the stacks that we have, the more and more damage we're doing, right? I mean, obviously it's not an insane damage for this particular like game mode right now, but we're just kind of comparing it, right? So yeah, that explosion damage, it's actually not bad. And then of course to bosses we do even more damage. Ooh, using Black Lemonade on top of it might not be a bad idea either, now you say it. So we do hit multiple times. There's a crit damage as well. I'm actually surprised that we are able to push through even until wave like 7 right now. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that these particular cookies are actually like able to do the damage against these bosses. I mean, actually, it's even better against the bosses because technically their extra damage bonus is way, way, way bigger. All right, but let's look at the damage real quick. But look at the damage from Menthol at 2-star promotion. Not bad at all. So we can use them inside of the arena, but they will just explode at the end of the day. Because look at their HP, bro. Look at their stats. And again, look at the damage difference between you know, enemies and bosses. Like, it just screams, hey, use them against bosses. Like, look at the damage difference. It's 890% versus 35%. All right, so for Menthol Cookie, the main damage dealer of the two, who is going to be taking advantage of the fizz, you know, debuff from the, you know, Seltzer Cookie, and then just going to be doing some insane damage to bosses. And again, because of the fact that you are going to be versing a guild boss with multiple parts or components to attack, because of the fact that this is going to be an area damage, right? We are going to be able to hit those multiple components or parts and deal a ton of damage to the boss. So you want to definitely be pulling these. For sure, I would say the biscuit. Once you guys are able to get the water elements, you know, biscuit, just like how you have for like Black Sapphire, Blueberry Pie as well, you're going to want probably the water element damage here so that you're able to just do so much explosion damage once he does use the skill. Okay, so I think that's going to be the focus of this cookie. And that also means that you probably would want to go and pull on his banner so that you are able to do more damage, especially if you're focusing on the guild. All right, so I think that is going to be the main focus. I mean, these two cookies, without a doubt, is going to be the boss focused. Okay, so I hope you get better luck than I do. I have literally 700 crystals now. I am officially broke now for these cookies.